Lagos, good morning, good morning. Welcome once again. This is your talk sports news radio station 99.3 Nigeria
Yeah.
Info. And yes, you're welcome to the Saturday morning show with wonderful Christian and Emmanuel Onka. Also, we have Barry Salumide in the
Yes.
building.
Yes.
It's Relationship 360. First, as you know, every Saturday we kick off here with Relationship 360. And from 9 o'clock, we bring you the Discuss with Jimmy Disu. And by 10 o'clock, wonderful travel and culture. And by 11 o'clock, our partners with Lagos State Employment Trust Fund, we bring you
Yeah.
the portal where we reach out to you entrepreneurs, business owners, founders, and we talk about business,
Yes.
and how to be able to do your business better.
Yes.
Of course, ladies and gentlemen, wonderful Christians, we're here with me.
Yes, I am here with you. And
How's your weekend?
It's been amazing. It's been amazing. And it's a new month. Happy new month, Emmanuel.
Happy New Month.
Happy new month, famous Barcelona. How are you doing today?
Barrister, how you doing
Good
today?
morning.
Good morning,
Good
everyone.
morning.
Awesome. We have a full house today.
Yes, so yes, so yes, yes.
First of all, I want to thank everyone for tuning into Relationship 360. It's always awesome to be here, and we do not take you for granted. We really appreciate you. Today I'm not alone. I'm with some guests whom I will introduce shortly. However, we continue today with our topic, child sexual abuse in Nigeria. And the statistics goes this way: 1 in every 3 girls and 1 in every 7 boys will be sexually abused before the age of 18. The most critical age for the girl child is 0 to 6, 9 to 14, and 16 to 19, where they are 4 times more likely to be sexually abused than at any point in their lifetime. And the boy child is from the age of 3 to 15. The major problem with child sexual abuse is the fact that over 50% of sexually abused children never tell their parents, but prefer to tell outsiders, and the other half, who are sexually abused, to the knowledge of their parents, are victimized by the same parents who blame them for the predicament, and the other beat up the children or choose to settle with their children's abusers and then move on. This has been the Christian or traditional way, where you choose to settle, that as Christians we should forgive. As an honorable Muslim, we should forgive and forget. But the end product of this is that the children are traumatized for the rest of their lives. Now, statistics show that over 70% of the victims know their abusers and are mostly related by blood. The question is, why are the majority of our parents tainted against their own offspring? Last week was a very sad point on this program, where we gave victims, people who had been sexually abused as children, to speak. And you could still feel the abuse in their voices, even though they are much older, married, and have their own children.
Barrister, last week, not just last week, the whole of the week, I was
Yeah.
traumatized.
Oh, in fact.
One question kept ringing in my mind. The one thing that young man said, he said, am I going to continue like
Yes.
this?
For the rest of my life?
Like,
Emmanuel, can I tell you something? I went to work one day, just once,
this week.
this week, and I didn't spend 2 hours in the office because the voices kept ringing. I heard of how someone, abused by his own blood sister. Some, these are things I see at work, and then you now have people coming out. Someone said, I have never told anybody.
Yes.
This is the first time
I'm speaking about it.
speaking about it. Today I have guests in the studio. I don't know. That okay? Let me not.
You let your guests. You want to let your guests do the talking. We have guests Lagos. We have guests in the
Yes.
house. They're very beautiful this morning. Wonderful Christian would be introducing them. If you're streaming live, can watch us live on YouTube 99.3 Nigeria Info, Nigeria Info FM on YouTube, and on Facebook Nigeria Info FM 99.3. You can see us live. We are live. We have our guests in the studio. And our guests will be speaking to you very soon. But wonderful Christian, tell Lagos who our guests are.
So our guests this morning, we have Maggie Oswald. Maggie, how are you doing today?
I'm very well, thank you. Wonderful.
You're
Good morning.
welcome.
Good
Smile
morning,
is
Lagos.
contagious. I'm
Oh, thank you.
And also we have Onyinye Odakoro. Hope I pronounced your names correctly.
Doko.
Odokoro.
Odokoro,
Yes.
thank you so much. Thank you so much. Can you pronounce it again, please?
Odokoro.
Odokoro. It's so good to have you in the studio with me. How are you doing today?
I'm doing very well, thank you.
Your skin is skinny. Huh?
Yeah.
Your skin is skinny. Okay, so
So Odokoro, what state is that?
Enugu State.
Enugu. Okay, I've never heard that before.
You would usually hear Odu or Okoro, but my father being a Christian, and he said Odu, refers to, I think, gods, and he said he didn't want to identify with that of his grandfathers, and so he just put Okoro in it and merged it, and it became Odokoro.
amazing.
You take responsibility for your name. I mean,
Yes, sir.
Christian yourself if you don't like. So, well, how would I put it? If you've seen
Farm.
Baby Farm, those are both actresses in the movie. Not that we're promoting the movie, so that you will have a full context of who you're talking to. Madame Onyinye is the mother Mama twins, and Maggie is the one who pretended to be autistic.
Yeah.
Well done, well done.
Thank you.
So, we want to talk about child sexual abuse here and how the experience opened their eyes. And, the funny thing is that we are also members of the Gnosis Volunteer Network, that is our network. And it was awesome to see that people who volunteered with us, are also doing good things. So let me start in no particular order. Odokoro Onyinye. What do you think?
When we were preparing for Baby Farm, it was very shocking to me, the things that I realized was happening. In the story, there's a character, Ebun, who was sexually abused as a child, and it's to what you're saying, Barrister, about how the people who commit these crimes are people who were close to them, because she was abused by her mother's boyfriend. And she spoke to her mother about it, and the mother blamed her for it and said that she was cursed. And because of that, she ran away and then, fell into this baby factory, yes, into the hands of these people. So I think the most shocking thing for me also is the fact that people turn a blind eye to the horror that's going on in the baby factories. You see that it wouldn't exist if there were no doctors. They need doctors.
Yes.
They need nurses.
Yes.
The gatemen, the security, they're all involved. And it just, so for me, it's kind of a microcosm of the larger Nigerian society. Where people are just, we have a part to play as a society. We know that these things exist. We know children who are sexually abused, but we don't see anything. And people that work in these baby factories or work anywhere where somebody's being abused, they see it, they turn a blind eye, and then they go on. So for me, it's really shocking. Before we came in, Maggie and I and Barrister, we were talking about how before it was 1 in every 4 girls, and now it's 1 in every 3 girls, and that's horrifying. That's horrifying. And I'm honored to be here. Yes, Maggie and myself, we volunteered with Nurses Help Initiative for close to a year now from here.
It's been over a year.
But how did it open your eyes to child abuse? One of those things that happen is that people see those stories on social media most times and they can't relate, because it's like afar. it's far from them. It's not happening to them. They hear people on the radio talk about it, but you getting into that shoe, you getting into that character. So you literally living the life of that person. You had to do a lot of research into that personality to be able to fit, to be able to play the character, right? How did you open your eyes to the emotions, because those are some of the things that you have to embody as an actress. So how did you open you up to all of the issues and all of the challenges, psychological traumas that people who are sexually abused or who are abused, and then they make that report, they're able to pass it on, open up about this abuse, and then they're like, you know what, maybe it never happened, or they are blamed for it. How did it work for you?
That's a very interesting question. But my character was not sexually abused.
Yes.
It was consensual. But Genevieve, who couldn't make it today, she would have been here. Her character is one whose story, talks about her sexual abuse and repeatedly, even when she was in the baby factory. And you can see how it affected her in terms of how stunted she was. Yes, her growth, how even she developed the Stockholm syndrome, where she was grateful to the people who were abusing her, and she believed that she was cursed. So that psychological, that reprogram, that damage that has been done is very deep, where the identity is just reformed, and they've come to believe something that they are not because of the trauma that's happened to them. And for me, it was heartbreaking. I'm sure that if Genevieve, she was here, she would even speak more in depth about her character. But it was every time, because I had more scenes with her, every time we were in the scene, I want to hug her. I want to say, no. There was a scene we did, and she said, yeah, now my own babies. I said, no, this is not.
Oh, it is well. My head is. According to Wikipedia, Nigeria is a study. The conditions that increase the risk of child sexual abuse amongst young girls in Nigeria are found in schools, baby factories. We are known for baby factories. In Wikipedia, Nigeria, as in where you gather young children, they are usually between the ages of 11 to 19, and you get men to repeatedly sexually abuse them to get them pregnant, and this is going on. We have a case that the mother's new husband, her stepfather, got her pregnant. She delivered last month. She had no antenatal care. So when she gave birth, her child had every bacteria to cause and virus to cause meningitis. She had this one that you put under the fluorescent bulb, jaundice, and she had almost 4 different. The hospital couldn't wait to get rid of her. Like, please come and take this child, because they didn't want the child to die in their hospital. Thank God we had to rush from Ojo to Mercy Street Children's Hospital here, where the child was on oxygen. She was brought with oxygen, and the intention of the mother was to sell the child at birth. The man is currently in a correctional facility now, and we had to move on. So let me move to you, Maggie.
Yeah. So for me, you asked earlier on, about our research, the things that we discovered while we're preparing for our roles, and during the course of my research, there was so much. Like, I watched so many videos, I read so many articles, and I realized that just as Bryson just said, we have a lot of baby factories in Nigeria. In fact, it's an industry on its own. And there was one such story where this girl got pregnant. She had consensual sex with her boyfriend. She got pregnant, a teenager, and her mom actually sold her to the baby farm, sold her to the baby factory. Her own mother took her there. They live in Benue State or so, and she took her all the way to somewhere in the east to sell her, and then the expose was done, and then all the girls in there, they come in, they talk about how they were just on the streets, they were vulnerable, they didn't have families, something or the other, and they were promised food, promised welfare, and they're taken to these baby factories, and then their children are sold. At the time, boys go for 300k, and then girls go for 250k. That was just last year. yes, baby boys and baby girls.
300,000.
300k for 300,000 naira for baby boys and 250,000 naira for baby girls at the time. So for my character in EA, I think she represents people who are on the spectrum, people who are neurodivergent or disabled, who are abused. Sometimes you feel like because of your disability, the abusers might be compassionate and then they won't want to abuse you. But instead, it actually makes you
Oh,
even more
wow.
vulnerable.
Mhm.
There was one such case like that. Was it Ife? So Ife that barrister handled, and this girl is neurodivergent. She's nonverbal, and because of that, about 7 men in her community constantly slept with her because she couldn't speak. Such that I think she had how many children? I think she probably had like two pregnancies or so.
She aborted
She aborted the first one.
twice, and then we had the last one she gave birth to. And they always give birth to girls,
The irony of it.
The irony
So-
of it.
So for me, Inie just made me realize that the more the more in quotes disabled you are, the more vulnerable you are. And for me, I just want to speak to parents, especially if your child has some sort of disability or the other, whether they're non-verbal. Because I mean, if we have use of our legs, we can run, right? But then people who don't have use of their legs, they're stuck there. People who can't speak, people who are mute. The assumption is this one can't talk. If I do what I want to do, this is free. This is something that is free for me. So if you have a child who is a special needs child who is non-verbal, you have to be even more.
But we had a case last month, if you remember, at Redemption Camp.
Oh yes, exactly.
She couldn't talk. She was a special needs child. She was raped at Redemption
camp.
Camp
Itself.
by a worker, someone who was hired to dig a well.
Yes.
Raped her in Redemption Camp.
In redemption.
In
Yes.
Redemption Camp. It
Because-
was the man was hired to, someone coming from outside. He was hired to dig a well and saw this girl walking. She was just coming from a program, and he had abused her before. This was about the second or third time, and the father also works there. And it was the police patrol that was just going, and they just saw this person, and it was they came down. Hey, what are you doing? And that's how it was the police patrol there. Vigilante,
Yeah. So yeah, I just feel it's a call to parents. If your child is mute, non-verbal or something, you have to be even more particular about how like where you take them to, the people you expose them to, because it's mostly people as Barrister has said, who they know, relatives, teachers. So we just have to be even more careful and watchful.
it is.
One of the things that I would also want to know, Onyechi, is Onyechi, is it?
No.
Maggie.
And then Maggie. Is
Sorry,
it
sorry.
Onyechi or is it
Okay.
Okay. So Maggie, one of the things I would like to know, that you spoke about, speaking about all of these challenges, is the question of vulnerability. People who take advantage of persons, they manipulate them. Before they can get them to be silent, is that they manipulate them because they don't want the atrocity or the evil act to be out there in the public. So one of the things is that
they threaten.
they threaten.
They threaten.
Aside just threatening, they try to manipulate them. They tell you that
It's grooming.
if anything
Yeah,
happens, there's the aspect of grooming, and then there's the aspect of also manipulating them.
Yes.
So how do people deal with this thing? How should especially these persons? There are many persons who are listening to us right now. Who have gone through that situation, who are currently in it, and they don't know how to speak up because they have been programmed by these people, the predators, so to speak. So how do you think the people can come out of that situation, like come out and be able to verbalize, especially when there's also the problem of them speaking up and then being rebuffed and not being trusted or told that they are the cause of the problem.
Yeah.
Okay, so I mean, I'm not a therapist. To be honest,
Of
I'm
course.
not. I really wish I was, because there's so many people going around with all sorts of trauma and scars and everything. But then, if there's anyone who is listening, who is being touched in a way they shouldn't be touched, who is being taken advantage of, it is not your fault. I need you to know that it is not your fault. There's no shame. There's no shame in speaking up. There's no shame in telling someone about it. There's no shame in saying no. If it's someone if it's a relative, it's a friend, they might tell you, if you tell someone, they will say it's your fault. They'll blame you. No, that's not the case. There are more and more people, more and more centers, that are interested in rescuing you. Okay, so I think we need to remove the culture of shame in the first place,
Yeah.
because that is why it doesn't
Stigmatization.
That's why a lot of people don't come out to speak about these things. I was reading the case of a man who was abused as a teenager, and he didn't tell anyone for 60 something years. The first person he told was his wife, and he was in his 70s. So there's that shame. And I think that's what we need to remove. Once we can remove that shame, people will be more willing to come out and speak about their abuse.
One of the major factors, if I may continue on this, is the absentee father, because research has shown that people whose fathers are active in their lives, that is, children who have an active father, that is, a father who is present in the lives of the children, have reduced probability to be sexually abused. The presence of a father gives confidence to the children, especially a father who is present in their lives, not just waking up, going to work and coming back, or taking them to church. That is not how to parent. That is not how to be a father. It is not religion. It is not tradition. It is actual. It is real life. And I always say, if you cannot be with your child, don't bring the child into this world. And also those who send their children to live with relatives, with brother, with sister, with grandma, you say because you want them to go to schools there. No, there are schools here. This absentee parents, or getting children to go and live with family somewhere in another state, where they don't have direct access to their parents, is an avenue for sexual abuse, usually by a family member. I don't buy this thing where you send your children out to, you say because you want them to go and school in the village, you send them to go and stay with a relative in the village, that you don't know what they have become. Some people have become armed robbers, some people have become ritualists, some people are perverse in their thinking, and your child, and they threaten. A lot of times you might even call, you want to talk to your child, they'll tell you your child is not available, he just went to fetch water, because they now don't want your child to talk to you. They threaten the child. By the time yourself, by the time the child comes back, the shadow of what you sent. If you cannot keep your children under the roof, don't bring them to this world. It's not everybody that is cut out to be a husband or a father. But you keep bringing these children here to breed them for abuse. Studies have shown that fathers and mothers tainted with religion and tradition always have a higher, there's what you call the pastor's kid syndrome.
Yes, the pastor's kid syndrome.
Yeah.
Because we will get back to all of this, and especially speaking regards to what Barrister said about bringing kids. Some parents do this because they want the future of their kids. They live in the village and they want their kids to access education in the township, and that's why they send them out. These are some of the things we'll have discussions, Lagos. We'll be back right after this break. Sorry, guys.
After this.
By the time this thing, they feel like say you the revenge.
Dad.
They will not increase.
What if I
No,
told you
so
the
that
next
we can
Olympic
hear
star is
ourselves.
right
And I
in
was
your
hearing
house?
background that I didn't want
Yeah,
anybody
what was
to I
that?
swear I don't even
Stop running around the house.
I don't.
It was as if something was trying to
I
join
know-
us from the roof.
Yes,
I know that they're walking around, but
for young talents in
sorry, you didn't have your
high
headphones
jump,
on.
shot
What
put,
did
and more.
he sound
This
like?
time, they're not just running
Again.
around. They're
Ah,
running
sorry.
shots at international
Was it
colleges.
inside
It's
the
inside
It's
here.
inside here.
Come and live
Inside
here.
here.
Don't
Inside
let this
the
opportunity
textbook?
pass.
No, inside the room. I took out my
He was here and I
couldn't hear
He was on his phone. He wasn't.
No, I was listening.
Lagos and
But look
I
at
can't
him.
get look roof saying, you know, like those
Like,
movies
it's
where one
like
hand
he
will
in the
just.
roof and stuff.
It was in the roof.
Maybe it's like when it was
action
there.
and
It was in the roof.
best they brought.
Because it was so distracting.
Banter was bold, the debates were tight. Each one a weapon, each match.
How many minutes do we have?
We have
But now it's
3
bigger,
minutes.
the stakes much higher. The battle returns, and it's full of
You
fire.
should attend the training.
And Battle 4 with Femi and the gang on 99.3 Nigeria Info. The stage
Saturday
is
is
back.
23.
In partnership with Sports Salon, we raise the game with Gloriana and a shot
You
at
can't
fame.
start there.
Think you've got what it takes to score?
No,
Step
you
right
have
up.
actually. I came for a
It's
workshop.
time
with my
for
mom.
more. Register
In
now
your
and
office.
take
Very
your
early.
stand. Your
My
time
mother
to
is
shine
also
is
serious.
now at hand.
Registration is ongoing on www.nigeriainfo.fm.
And Battle 4.
Yeah.
Ah,
Yeah. You probably can't remember me.
She start chasing
Barrister has
all
a
the
lot of
bags.
business.
Come and secure another bag. With the Jolly
I
Just
was-
Go
I
welcome
was speaking
offer,
to my mom,
Bet King
like,
is
Barrister
giving
is
100
trying.
naira
You know,
instant
listening to
side
these
of bonus.
stories every
That's
day, I
not
wonder
all.
how
Within
you
14 days
Yeah.
of
Like, I don't think I
a chance to
can.
get up
I don't
to
think
1
I
million
can.
naira in
Yes.
rewards.
Well, you have
Join
this
50 free casino
as you
bets
were
on
talking.
Aviator.
It's-
Download Bet King app and register today using the promo code FREEBETS to enjoy your 100 naira instant sign-up bonus and all exciting offers. Terms and conditions apply. Not for persons under 18 years. Play responsibly.
maybe one person, but not.
Hello Lagos! Finally, MTN Champs is here at the center of excellence for season 3. Be there live as we discover the next generation of Nigerian athletic superstars at the University of Lagos and Yabatech Sports Complex. Come with your family and
Oh, by the
friends
way, she's
for
a
an
registered
amazing
nurse.
experience from the 9th to 12th April. Visit mtnchamps.com for more information.
Introducing the essence of true authenticity in fragrance, Wazobia perfume, the correct scent. A unique blend that captivates the authentic spirit of Nigeria, now available in both perfume and body spray variants. Designed for everyone. Yes, Wazobia is a unisex fragrance perfect for both men and women. Its rich and versatile aroma is a statement of inclusivity and unity. Unleash your confidence with each and every spray. Are you a retailer or do you love to buy in bulk? We've got you covered across Nigeria. Wazobia perfume comes in cartons of 24
Just like
bottles,
what
and the
you
body
were
spray
saying
is
about
available in cartons of
I think
48
both of you also
bottles.
have that
Interested in
personality
making
tendency,
Wazobia perfume
like
a part
your
of
personality
your
for
collection
people feel like
store? For carton
you can
purchases,
listen to
contact
them and
us
they can
at
speak
the
to you.
email address
And I think you
contact
guys
at
should do more
wazobiacosmetics.ng
Yes.
or call
Yeah,
us
I mean, that's
at
why
0201
Yeah, you guys know.
330
Not before.
0201
Now.
330 0047. Our team is ready
But
to
also,
assist
you're
you
correct,
with your
because
order.
sometimes
Wazobia
method
perfume,
handle
the
all of those
correct
stories.
scent.
No,
Your
we-
new signature fragrance.
What about
Just
you?
call
Go
or
back.
click away. Authentic,
You must have a
unisex,
hobby.
Hobby.
Wazobia.
Welcome back to your number one talk, news, and sports station. This is Nigeria Info.
Okay.
Hmm.
Okay, good morning. Good morning.
All right, good
Good
morning,
morning.
Lagos.
Good
We're back.
morning. We're back. It's Relationship 360. So, Barcelona, back to you on the pastor's child syndrome.
Yes.
You see something?
Yes, the pastor's child syndrome is the rebellion of children raised under religious backgrounds. You find out that most of them, when they grow, when they achieve the age of being a young adult, the first thing is to distance themselves from the upbringing, the religious upbringing that they have. You will not find them in churches like they are. Isn't this pastor's child? Because they suffer neglect. As children, they were raised with absentee parents. From Monday, I said first service, second service, workers meeting. Tuesday, that's Sunday. Monday is communion service. Tuesday is what do you call it? Holy Ghost something. Wednesday, prayer meeting. Thursday, prayer Bible study. Friday, video. Saturday, workers meeting, choir meeting. Sanctuary. So they are always in church every time, and they have children at home. By the time you come back, that is, they go to work. They close from work, it is straight to church. And they finish at church by 8, they get home, children are almost asleep. And tomorrow morning, before the children are getting, they've gone to work again. So you find that when you say we are even serving God, God says his own son is seated by his right hand, right? Nothing that was made without him. He was always with his son. You are serving God who is always with his son. Where is your own son? He gave you the example of how to live. Take your children with you. Let me leave that.
Before you leave that, I don't want to make a case, but I'll say something that some of these parents feel like they are engaging the kids in activities because they'll take them to church, but I see where you come from, whereby there's emotional neglect, there's no bonding. They just feel like because I take my kids to church, I'm raising them according to God, telling them to come to church, go to a choir practice.
Not only church, the mosques too. Let me tell you something. Where children are raised and become inadequate for the real world. The real world is not I am strong. The real world is not I am rich. The real world is hustle. The real world is character. Religion is not character. Do you know? I can't say what is your character now and you're telling me you're a Christian. Christianity is not character. You could be hot-tempered and a Christian.
Yes.
You could be a liar and a Christian. Character is totally different from religion, and that is the mistake people make also in choices of a spouse, where you say, we must be what? God-fearing. You must be dedicated to church. That is not his character. Witches go to church. Armed robbers go to church. Ritualists go to church. They go to the mosque. So attendance in a religious organization is not a person's character. Everybody just goes there. Do you know the devil even goes? When you check Job chapter 1 verse 6 and Job chapter 2 verse 1, you would see that there came a time when the sons of God went to worship God, and Lucifer, Satan, was also there. He also came to worship. So if Lucifer can in heaven go to worship, then why can't a witch on earth come to church? It's the same. So that is not their character. So you need to build character, home training in a child, where a child knows left from right, can differentiate danger from safety, and you find out that their children always marry wrong. Because they can't see what, they say the bad girls get the good guys. You understand? They're always saying that.
True.
Why? Because the bad girl was trained on she can identify a good guy. Because she has been with people that have beaten her up, men that have raped her. She knows a good guy. She knows the difference immediately. So while you are still praying and trying to receive, she has taken the man. That is why we need to balance the upbringing. You have to balance. They are in this world. You understand? You are here. So know here.
Prepare them for here.
Prepare them for here as you prepare them for there. It's not the same. Where children cannot tell that people are lying to them. Where children are so innocent, the car pulls up and says, come, you don't know me, I'm a kidney in your church. And once they hear church, okay, they get into the car and they are kidnapped. Yes. See how many children are missing from church. They kidnap them in church because it is church they would use. But go to the street and tell a normal boy walking, you say, God, waiting they happen now. He will tell you, no, they come inside.
Sure.
He will tell you that I was given, that a boy was trying to buy something at the market. He didn't have enough money. So I just offered to pay. So I gave him the money. He said, thank you, sir. But please, I should give the woman
Directly.
directly. That I shouldn't
Not
give him
to-
the money. That I
yes.
should give the vendor directly. I said, why? He said, thank you. Let it be complete, sir. That I give it. The boy was so smart.
Street smart.
Street smart that he didn't collect the money. He said I should pay the money there because if he collect the money now, make it
Turn
his
to
house.
rent.
Yeah.
So do our people know that?
Yeah.
Mm.
That today, I also let's just go to the phone lines. Today also dedicated to you, every single one that was abused as a child, both male and female. I told you last week that we will continue. So please just call in, share your story. Usually we say 1 minute, I will give you 2 minutes. Tell us what happened. Please just pick up the phone and I will tell you something. The gentleman called last week and said, is this how I will continue for the rest of my life? What can we do?
Lagos numbers to call 0201-277-0993. Male only line 0201-277-0993. Female only line 0201-465-71.
Are you running somewhere?
Zero. The thing is, okay, let me take it slowly. 0201-277-0993. Female only line 0201-465-7190. Or you can send us a WhatsApp message 080 959 75805. All right, Lagos, we'll start taking your calls right now. About now, phone lines are up. Hello, good morning. Sorry, please do call us back. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. All right, let's just keep trying. Hello, good morning. Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
You can remain anonymous if you want.
Good
Good
morning.
morning.
Please remain anonymous if you choose. Wow. Please go ahead.
At times, I will not have feeling for anybody. So, it's like 2 times. So when I was small, I was like 8 years. So when my mom heard about it, my mom was like, I told my mom, see what happened. But it was when I was in the village, it happened to me.
Okay.
How did she respond when you told her?
Yes, your mom.
She even called the man and told my brother they now fought the man.
Oh, fine. At least yours responded and they fought with the man. But how did it happen? What were you doing?
He took me to the bush that he wants to go and give me something. No, I don't know. That's what he wants to do.
Wow. So, are you married now? You're a single mom. Has it affected you in any way?
Yes.
How is that?
At times I will not have feeling for anybody. I just stay alone.
So sorry about what happened to you. Have you tried any means?
Anybody apart from my mom that time.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for sharing your story. I really appreciate it.
But Barrister, if action was taken, when she was little to address that situation, at least
It
it's a
got
20.
it 50%.
Yes.
It
So
got it 50%.
why is she still facing all of that?
Because she has never told anybody except her mom. So she swallowed 50, we gave out 50.
It needs to be out entirely.
It needs to be, can it be entirely out, but it needs to reduce.
But also, like, process of healing. Even if she told somebody, there's the process of healing something that she hasn't.
So there is what you call trauma, where you don't know if you are to blame yourself for being that foolish to follow someone inside the farm. It was addressed. Thank God that her mother took and they fought with the gentleman. But inside, you could see that people heal differently. There are some people that get over things quickly. Some people, it takes a while. Some people, it takes reassurance. She has never told anybody except her mom, right from the age of 8. Now she's a single mom. Let's go to another call.
All right, Lagos numbers are still up. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Thank you, sir. Go ahead, sir.
I want to appreciate you, and I want to appreciate what you are doing. You are doing a very great job indeed. Honestly speaking, I've been following you, myself and my wife, my children will be following you every Saturday morning like that. Even anytime I'm not around, my wife will call me, I will call them to know if they are with you. Are you getting it?
Thank you.
So I just want to share my own experience when I was 9 years old.
Thank you.
Because I won't say much about it because my children are here with me. So I don't.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Man, you see, a house of fix me and slap you or whatever they call it, sometimes I find it difficult to train children in that kind of environment. You know, they say the environment influences human behavior. You know, there's this my auntie in those days in that apartment. Sometimes she will take me to their room when the mother was not around, to say, she will tell me she wants to send me some things to buy for her. In the process of doing that, that auntie will lay me on the bed and, caressing me before I know what was happening, put my things inside, and she'll be moaning. I don't know, I was so innocent then, I don't know what was happening. Until I grew up, I know, okay, this is what this auntie was doing. Eventually, till I get old, I hate seeing that auntie. Till eventually I didn't see her again. So these are the things we need to, the awareness we need to create for all these children and the mothers, the parents as well.
Thank you very much, sir. Can I ask you a question, sir? Thank you very much, sir, first of all. The fact that your children just heard what you said. Wow. Thank you very much, sir. How old were you when this happened? Okay, sir. Did you tell your parents? So they had you bought this all by yourself. Has it affected you in any way as an adult? Wow. Please, can I talk to your wife? Is she? Good morning, ma. I wish this were better circumstances. First of all, I want to thank you for listening to my program and for being support to your wonderful husband who this is the first time I would see a man tell his children, speak in front of his children and tell them what happened to him. And he also mentioned that you had the same experience. Please, can you just briefly tell us what happened? Don't worry. Nobody can hear you. How old were you? Let me just ask. How old were you? Was it at home?
Wait until when my father comes back from work, then he will send me to buy something that we are going to eat. So this man has been watching. This man has been watching me every time they send me to buy something. He has been disturbing me that he will be my wife someday. But me, I don't understand because I was young then. So one fateful day, I went out as usual to buy something. Then this man just saw me. Immediately he saw me, he just grabbed my hand and asked me to follow him. I was just following him. I couldn't reject it. I couldn't say anything. I was dumbfounded as if he used something on me. I was just following this man. He took me to a bush and raped me there. I was raped severely. In fact, he even used knife to cut me before he could penetrate because he couldn't enter.
He used a knife. Wow.
When he was through, he left me there. He ran away. I did not know this young man that just rescued me. He was asking me where am I? Who brought me here? I couldn't talk. I was just in pain, crying, shouting.
And you must have been bleeding. Please, did you tell your parents? Wow. Wow. Okay. Oh, okay. Wow. And have you seen the man ever since?
The matter will be escalated, and so they have to leave the man.
Well, geez. I can imagine. Your first experience was with a knife. Wow. Wow.
Wow.
Thank you. Hi. Thank you
so much.
very much.
But one thing I would like to ask you, madam, is your husband, you and your husband have so much chemistry, and I see that both of you are vulnerable to each other. Has that helped you in any way?
Thank you very much. In fact, I really want to is it congratulate or celebrate you? I don't know how you found each other, but you've been a support system to each other.
Exactly.
Thank you very much, and God bless you and your children. Thank you very much, man. Oh, wow. Thank you very much. Amen. Amen. Thank you. God bless you, man. Oh, Jesus. Bye. Bye. Ladies and gentlemen, you're listening. It's not something you settle. It's not something you are saying you are preventing. You don't want people to hear. Children never get over it. You never get over it unless something is done to reduce the trauma. Let's go on to the next, please.
Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. Can you hear me? Yeah, we're still getting that. Hello, good morning. Can you hear me? All right, you might just have to call us back. Lagos numbers to call 0201 277 0993. And female only line 0201 465 7190. Remember that you can also send us a WhatsApp message on 080 959 75805. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. All right, you might just have to call us back. Lagos, if you're having any difficulty calling us through the male line, feel free to call us through the female only line 0201 465 7190. You can call us both male and female. You can call us on 0201 465 7190. Feel free to call it 0201 465 7190. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning. I really appreciate you, sir. So, see, I want people to learn from this and I want to say.
It's a story that happened in my area. That might stay in praise now. Because I think that's how people that molest children, that's the place that they're supposed to be. This man, he has a school. And the parents, they put they have 3 children. So they put the 3 children in the school. And one is a grown-up lady, let's say like 13 years. So the 13 years girl, the owner of the school will now go to one side and be touching the girl this thing at the private side. So the parents one day, I mean, there's times if they are talking to the girl will just shock. The girl will just shock. They will say, "What is happening to this girl? What is happening to you?" She will not talk. She has been over it for like, let's say like 3 years. If they are talking to her, she will have picked to another side and she will talk. One day, they now said that today they are going to kill you. You know, they now did that today we are going to do this to you. So they now threaten her that she should talk. In that time that she now said that is the head of the school that used to touch her this thing. That used hand to the virgin.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you for calling.
Thank you for calling. Wow, now happening in schools now.
Yes. Hello, good morning. Good morning. You'd like to remain anonymous, I guess? Please go ahead.
I was living in the village then, so I and my parents were staying I was in my uncle's house. So one of my big cousins, I was about 7 or 8 then. I didn't know anything. As of that time, I don't know anything. So the first day she did that, all of us, children in the village, the way we play everything, she sent every other of the children out, asked them to go to neighbor's place and play, and asked me to come with her. And that's how she found me. And it's terrible. Sometimes, till today, I have not told anybody. My parents, nobody has ever heard about it. This person I'm talking about is my cousin, but way older than me. And the thing has affected, I don't know whether it is what is affecting me or what, because I don't know whether, let me just say that I have very high libido. I don't know how to explain it, but it's affecting me even today. And even sometimes I don't even know how to talk to anybody, but I will just be suppressing it within me. I don't know. I don't even know how to explain everything, but it's a very terrible experience. And I don't know how to explain it. Yeah.
Oh, okay, thank you. You said the person who sexually assaulted you is male or female?
Female, my cousin.
Your cousin. Why didn't you tell your parents?
Because I was afraid, and I don't know why I thought it was why. I think I was afraid that
You're afraid that they would beat you. So it has been because of the way you were brought up, the upbringing, the kind of way your parents were to you. You were afraid to tell them things like that. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Now you say that your sex drive is on overdrive. You always want to have sex?
Yes, sir.
You can't control it.
No, I'm not the type that has
Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for sharing here. Lagos, we're going on a very short break. We'll be back and we'll stay here on Relationship 360.
More news and information coming up. We'll be back in a moment.
Sorry, guys. Because so that we can hear ourselves very well.
Husband and wife.
See that husband and wife. So even them coming together, being vulnerable to each other, it's not. It is not helped. It has not helped so much.
She says she doesn't like sex, so the man has to understand because
he too went through the same thing.
You know, I feel there's no solution because it's something that lives with you. I don't know.
Because one would think that marriage, being vulnerable to a
because
partner,
it's something that lives
help.
with you. It's you that would decide to make that conscious effort to like to heal. I don't know if you get what I'm saying.
Conscious effort to heal.
I'm seriously, it's the truth.
I think therapy. People.
it doesn't work.
It doesn't work. It's something that you live with for the
I've
rest
been,
of your life.
You know, people that.
So therapy doesn't
When
work.
I started, a lot of people came to me after therapy didn't work. Spent so much money. They brought someone to my office in handcuffs. They had to chain her to. If you come to my office, you will see a burglary proof on the other side. We blocked the door. She was the one that broke the door. Therapy didn't work. Then they took it to the psychiatric hospital because the person eventually started getting more angry.
Yeah,
Because as I was being abused.
That one, she married a sickle seller. The sickle seller was diagnosed. So, you know, she's the one that wakes up to wash his car. If light goes, she will be the one to go and off well, switch on the generator. It was so, she just kept on being the virtuous wife. So he would talk down to her. Sex was like a favor. We are torn here. What are you? So she was like, she became a dog like that. And then after some time, she was beaten up. And he doesn't want to retaliate because if you push him now, he can fall into crisis. But then when he wants to fight, you take 2 knives, give her one, she will hold one. Then their daughter will be there, and you will tell the daughter today you will either be motherless or fatherless, you know. So at night, when it's around 7, 8, the daughter wants to go to the kitchen, pack all the knives, forks, and everything, and take to her room and sleep.
So that her parents don't.
When they start, it's I brought her here now.
That's
She was here. It was so tempted. She eventually ran mad. So they brought her to me.
As a barrister, I really don't know what to talk because I am actually a victim of sexual abuse when I was 6, from 6 to 16. So I understand what that woman is talking about. I don't want to go into that, but
Blood relative.
yes, most of them were my uncles or
Not one person.
not one.
So I understand when you said you don't think
It's not some. It is no solution. It's just you that will make a conscious effort to heal. And then, if you have a very good support system, you cannot
absence
run away.
of your father.
I got it at my
You
parents.
lost
Yes, I got my parents.
vulnerability.
So that was what I said about manipulators. They look for your weak points. They look for a way to access you. Just like when people talk about cyber attacks, they always look for the vulnerable point. Who is the vulnerable link? And then use that link to access you. Coming back now. No, go back.
Good morning.
Hi, we're back.
All right, Lagos, we're back. This is still Relationship 360 with wonderful Christian and Emmanuel Onka. Barrister Lumide is here, and we have 2 awesome guests in the house.
Yes.
You can view us live. This is YouTube, Nigerian Info FM on YouTube, and on Facebook, Nigerian Info 99.3. And we're still taking more of your calls. The calls we're getting is giving me chills. Like
Something is so sick in my stomach, honestly.
But the thing is that we need to have this conversation. People who are abusers need to know the effect of what they're doing and how it's affecting people down the line. You heard the call that we just had just before we went on the break from a man and his wife. You know,
You know that when someone uses a knife to sever the hymen so that he could penetrate,
That's
shows you that that was not the man's first time.
yes.
so he's been possibly
He's
doing
been
that.
doing it. Who would know that? I would probably a surgeon, probably a doctor, not the ordinary man.
And just talk about the pain. Like, what kind of mind do they even have? Yeah, you want to say something?
Yeah, I just wanted to speak about the role of parents because it's something that has been reoccurring in the calls that we've been getting.
Mm.
And first of all, when Barrister was talking about the pastor's child syndrome, it came to mind. You're working, you're not emotionally available to your children. So because you're not emotionally available, they don't have that bond. They don't see you as a safe space.
Mm.
So when someone talks to them, when someone touches them, they cannot come to you. They cannot open up to you because you're not a safe space. So parents need to be they need to be more intentional about building a bond with their children. I mean, when I was growing up, there was this man, in our area then, where we'd always go to buy stuff. I was like 11 or so, and this man sometimes I'll go to buy like things, and I noticed that he was just very friendly. At some point, he gave me a gift, a perfume. Fine girl, take and everything. But because I could speak to my parents, I collected, thank you, sir. I went home. I told my dad. I didn't even understand. My dad called this man. He brought him out. He dressed him down. Let me put it that way. He spoke. Do not ever do that. Do not give my child a gift. Do not. You understand? Because I was able to talk to my parents about it. Only God knows what that could have led to. After collecting that gift. So yes, parents need to create that safe space for their children. And secondly, when your children speak to you, I feel like sometimes parents don't want to escalate it because aside from the impact on the child, they're also thinking about their own reputation. They don't want them to say, oh, you're a bad parent, you were absent, that's shame. You need to forget that and think about the lifelong effects of this abuse on the child. The child, see, to be honest, children hardly heal from these things. It follows them into their marriages, follows them into their relationships.
Into the grave.
Into the grave. They hardly heal. So, forget your shame. It has happened, it has happened. Now you need to stand up for that child. That child needs a hero, and it has to be you. You need to fight for that child. You need to ensure that they get the justice they deserve, and you need to give them the support they need to heal.
Some parents are absolutely ridiculous. Where you turn abuse to a spiritual matter, they now start saying things, apart short of telling the girl it was her fault or telling the man it was her fault. What were you wearing? What did you go and do there? Whatever. Were they going to look for abuse or defilement or rape? Were they going to, is that what they were looking for? Then, this one happened in Aja where the man, after he was being arrested in the police station, someone gave him an idea and he said to the parents that let me kuku marry her since I have I'm the one that is vegetarian. And he brought about 9,000 naira to pay her bride price right there at the police station. The mother accepted. Yes. Time I got there, the man had been released. The family do not want to collect.
Is it poverty or what?
9,000 naira. Call it poverty.
No, the woman just sold her daughter.
Call it whatever you want to call it. But there is a holy anger that every animal has. And I tell you that it is the only thing that prevents human beings from being human is tradition and religion. To cover the shame, the same thing. Someone was raped or someone was sick, he comes home with a pregnancy, they say, you have to marry the person that got you. Before it starts showing, you rush it. Knowing that, would you have just asked this girl, without this pregnancy, would you still be? They will tell you no. And do you know how it is for the rest of your life when you wake up looking at a person saying, if not for this pregnancy, I wouldn't have married this person? For the rest of your life, every morning, every night, every time he touches you or she touches you, you know that it was pregnancy, if not for the pregnancy. And some people stop. Then the family comes in again. Is it only one child you people will give birth to? That no, I want to carry more children. What parents have done in the lives of children. Till today, parents are responsible for where Nigeria is. Our fathers. Do you understand? Not only do they destroy their families, they have extended it and destroyed an entire nation. Let's go back to.
You want to say something?
No, just piggybacking of what Nadia said and Barrister as well in terms of parents and their reputation. There is currently actually someone in my DMs from Baby Farm who has come to say, this is my story. And she was telling me that when she was in this place, there was a girl who was the daughter of a big politician. And immediately they found that she was pregnant. They brought her to the Baby Farm. That neglect, even my character, because she, her parents knew that she got pregnant, and the shame and the stigma, that's what caused her to run. Because
What
there
is
was no,
shame?
say, what is the
What is
reputation?
shame?
She's a child. She's made.
What is shame? What is shame?
But most families hold that thing very
our
dearly.
name.
Our name. Our name.
But
Don't
do you
call our
know?
name.
Do you know
That is terrible.
that your name is actually your offspring?
Yes.
Without that offspring, you will have no name. Because what is as good as you, like property? When you die, who owns the property? Is it your corpse?
No.
So some people have died without someone to inherit their property. You know what happens? People who are miscreants, vagabonds take over the property.
Sure.
The Lagos State doesn't know anything, and they just know there's one building there. And then, of what use is the name that you were trying to protect when the name is just the property that the owner is dead? Your children are your name. The only way to secure your name is to secure the children. That is. So when they say, what is your name?
Before we go on the phone lines, there's this thing, Maggie, you mentioned. I just took note of that. You see, when a child is not being listened to, is not being cared for, a predator can find out. They know from afar. They can see from afar that this child is being neglected. So what they do is that they try to engage the child and try
It's
to
a
speak.
beacon. Do you understand?
Yeah,
it's like a beacon. It's like it's lighting. A thief knows the house to break into. A molester, an abuser can identify a child that is vulnerable. It always strays from the herd. Any predator attacks an animal that strays from the herd, either by the neglect of the parents are just walking and the child is trying to catch up and the child is now tired, cannot catch up with the herd. Those are the ones they pounce on.
It starts conversations like, I can see the way your mom is talking to you. That's the way they started talking to me before.
Buy ice cream.
Do you understand? Exactly. That bond. Somebody to listen to them.
Vacuum cannot exist in nature. Someone will fill it.
Yes.
If you do not fill the vacuum for your child, another person will fill the vacuum. And love is not, it is a verb. It is an action where you say you love God told you love your neighbor as yourself. Forget that. That is the ultimate. Then how much more your own child? Every animal cannot stand the abuse of its offspring. Only humans.
Our phone lines are
Please just
ringing.
Let's go.
Let's take more of your calls. Hello, good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, sir. Thank you for calling. Mr. David, are you a victim? Okay, this is for victims.
So let's concentrate on the victims.
We're going for someone. We will call them survivors, people that have gone through. Yes,
survivors.
Thank you, sir.
All right, thank you very much for calling. Hello, good morning. Good morning. Oh, okay. Oh.
Okay, please, very quickly.
Just 1 minute, please.
So I also like become as an abuser to also my youngest cousin that I was like a year and 2 year old older at that time. So, and even till now, even though I have that high libido, I've never for one day said that I enjoy having sex because it has never been, even though I don't enjoy it, I always want to do it again. So that is,
So, when you say that you also did it to your younger ones, it was, what were you thinking at that time? Was it just to experiment or to, what exactly was on your mind?
so that was something that is bad like that because I was like the first time I was maybe 7 or 8, and this happened around, let's say, before I was from that age to age 9. So that was when it happened.
Thank you very much for sharing, sir. I really appreciate it.
Thank
Have
you.
you noticed that abuse begats abuse?
Mm-hmm.
Let's move on. I'll come back to that very
Hello, good
shortly.
morning.
Oh,
Please turn down the
turn
volume
down
of
the
your radio.
volume.
Hi, good morning. Please go ahead. Thank you for calling.
Come again.
Hello?
Yes,
Come
go
again.
ahead.
Come again. Go ahead. Go ahead.
It actually it started when I was very small, when I went to secondary school in a boarding school. So I was exposed to masturbation. So I used to, in my dorm, our seniors they used to do masturbation like a competition. They wanted to see who was going to, come fast, then who had the most sperm. So, we're all in the same. In fact, it was like something we all celebrated then. Because our seniors then they used to. In fact, they were even giving them prizes for the person that had the most sperm and whoever comes first. So, we were so very small. I think I was about 13 then. So, but we couldn't do it. It was only meant for the seniors from like SS1 to SS3. So by the time when there was holiday time, I went home. In my head, I already had that in my mind to do the same thing. So when I got home, so there was this small boy in my. So when I got back home, I actually tried it myself, but I wasn't really. Probably because it was my first time, I wasn't really feeling it. So there was one time at night we were just playing. So there was one small boy, my neighbor. We were sitting outside. I was like, I just brought up my pennies and put it in his mouth that if he could make me come. And the boy was just about 7 or 8 there. So he tried, he just put I put my pennies in his mouth, but he tried, but he couldn't make me come. So I did that like 2 times. Then I stopped, playing with the boy. Then I just.
Thank you for sharing. Can I ask how long you've been listening to this program? How has your experience as a child transmuted into your adulthood now? The fact that masturbation and you had already sexually abused a child while being a child yourself.
So at my own convenience, I can just enter my room or just masturbate and ease myself. So it took me a long time for me to really get into hanging out with girls. Even then, even when I still hang out with girls, like when you have the urge, maybe the girl says she was on a period or she wasn't ready, I'll just go on my own and.
Does it still affect you till now? Not anymore. Okay, so can I ask how old you are now? When did you stop masturbation? 15 years ago. How did you stop it? Thank you very much.
Before you go, I would like to ask you, how has that your experience, from your childhood? Has it translated? Because I'd like to know, do you have kids now? Are you concerned about their safety, seeing what your upbringing was like?
I think because school, I think that my school, you have to be very careful with this kind of school they took their children to, because I mean, I was just like 13. These things they were doing it like it was fun to them in our boarding school then. So that was what really exposed me to, that masturbation. I was like, to me, I was like, we're doing something.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much. I get. That's why boarding schools now, I just refused. I went to a boarding school while growing up, but now I won't allow any of my children go to a boarding school.
The kind of things that happen
Yes.
there. Hello, good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, ma'am.
Okay, you
Please, can you say it
Can
now
you say
that
it
you
now
have
that you
gotten
have us?
through to us? Oh,
okay.
okay.
We'll search for your
WhatsApp-
message.
WhatsApp
We'll search for your
message,
message right now.
So I think we'll just take 2 more calls and then go to WhatsApp.
Can you just send another message to us right now so that we can find your message? We have like a ton of message. Just send the message that you're the one that called.
She was so upset that, Emmanuel, I sent you a message. What's wrong with you? Please,
sorry,
we'll do 2
oh.
more calls
I'm
and go
sorry.
straight to
the
WhatsApp. Yes,
Yes.
please.
Hello, good morning.
Please reduce the volume of your set.
Hello? Yes, good morning. Yes. Please go ahead.
Even we say we're anonymous too. Thank you, sir.
Hmm.
Libido.
I think it's SS3. So she would just come in the middle of the night, started massaging my penis and putting it in her thing. So I can't even remember when she stopped, but it goes for a long time.
Thank you, sir. And yeah, you still see each other now? Wow. Wow. Sexual abuse. It's
So can you trace it down to anything that's happening to you currently or that's happened to you afterwards?
you are over sexual. You're on a sexual overdrive. Okay. Thank you very much, sir. Wait, this will be the last one.
Yes, let's go to the WhatsApp messages.
No, one more call then WhatsApp, please.
Okay.
Because we won't be coming back.
Okay, we just have 6 minutes on the clock. We'll take one more call. Hello, good morning. Okay, we can reach on this line. Please remember to call the number 0201 465 7190.
WhatsApp now.
So WhatsApp messages right now.
You
This
just
is a long read.
Summarize. That's what I was afraid of. WhatsApp.
Yes.
Okay.
So in this case, this person is sending us this message from Kanu. In his own case, he wants to count it as a miracle that he was not sodomized or used by anyone then, but he can't even remember how old he was, but he was in the 90s and he was in primary school. And his mom would always send him to a guy in the area to cut his hair. And one day he attempted to go at him. Everything seemed very strange and unusual from the way he began um, squeezing him from behind, and then started pulling at him, saying that they should lie down on his bed. He said he started screaming, and one to no one in particular, but he was just expecting anyone from the inner compound to appear and break the sequence of events because he knew that there were people there. But surprisingly, nobody came, but you could hear them chatting away like nothing was going on. The abuser eventually let him go and was murmuring things that he doesn't know. He left, and to this day, he has not told anybody about it. Yes, because the house, he didn't tell anybody about it because the house he was raised in, no one, they would surely make it worse for him.
Well, we have another one, and she said she wants to be kept anonymous. She was in primary school, and it happened when she was 8 years old. She said she has seizure, which is just like convulsion. And then the pastor that her mom took her to pray for her was the one that fingered her, saying that God told him to finger her, and that the sickness would come out when he fingers her. She said till this day she hates men, and she has blocked her heart to fall in love or being in a relationship with men. And she's 33 years old. She said she told her mom, and her dad is late. Her dad died in 1994. Her dad is late. She told her mom and her grandmom, and they warned the pastor, and he never came to their house again.
They warned him.
They warned
That
him.
was it.
So now your daughter does not want to fall in love. Is not married and is not even considering marriage because of a warning. That was the extent of your reaction. So now that warning, the man will move on to the next victim. Do you know how many people, if only you had done something, you would have reduced the number of people that will be abused by this person, but you reintroduce them to society.
We have another message here. This man said, my wife was abused twice, first as a child and second while with me as a wife. She was abused twice. First when she was a child, and then second why she was married to him. But he said he couldn't believe the second time, and since then his love for his wife has reduced drastically and is affecting his marriage. And since then she does not allow him to have intercourse with her as usual. What should he do?
He said he didn't believe the second one.
Yes, that's his statement.
So when someone tells you and you refuse to believe it, it's like a break of trust. As in,
like somebody confided in
telling
you.
you this happened. You should have simply gotten the name of the person and confronted the person with the police. This is an adult. She knows what she's talking about. Or, it's not as if you caught her. Maybe she told you. It's different from entering and seeing them together. But she told you this happened to me.
Yes, he said here that she told me all this by herself.
What should he do? He should have listened. He should have listened to her the second time. At least the first time they didn't know each other. The second time that you now knew something happened to your wife, you didn't.
You're the protector.
You are the protector. You are the father. You are the protector. You are the provider. And you now tell the protector that I need protection, and the person is saying, I don't believe you, and then comes at night and says, okay, open up. What are you opening?
This person is sending us a message from outside of the country, and he says this. He said, I was sodomized by an uncle and I was 9. I think we should also talk about the effect of homosexuality in kids. The abuse
it's the same. It's
sometimes changes sexual orientation of the kids.
It's the same. A lot of people who are sodomized that I know are not into
women anymore.
Are not into men. In fact, it has made them hate men. But it also could cause that
shift in orientation.
But you can't tie down homosexuality to being sodomized as a child.
We have one more. She said she was raped in a mosque when she was 11 years old by an imam, and that she later got therapy when she traveled out of the country, and she can never bring herself to forgive her parents because of this. And she's saying that regarding parents sending their children away to study in different locations, she advised that they always put their eyes down and check up on them at every interval.
To see
Yes.
firsthand the situation
Yes.
of things. Lagos, we'll go on a very short break. When we'll be back, we'll wrap up here on Relationship 360. But please stay with us. Don't go nowhere.
Have you
More talk.
have you noticed that more men have called than women?
Yes. You know, that was the same thing that happened the last time. We had 3 straight calls from men before women started speaking. So it means that more men are those are not good because we as men we have this thing that you're a Manchester. We don't feel the need
We even have
for
a club, Manchester.
I don't think this, guys. I feel that women don't want to speak. It's very hard.
No,
Women
women speak more than men. Men don't speak. Men don't speak easily.
You know how it is because when you were supervised, you know what that means as a man. When bent,
Exactly.
when bent down,
A man.
Things cost. But
knowledge is really important.
Prices with better prices and marketing come a day. Trillions boku bread and 1,300 naira for boku.
Parents never really give them sex education. You didn't tell your child. How do they prepare them for this thing? How do parents prepare their children for the outside? Is it that this
grocery store, having a food items, check boku
You know that
first.
there's
Oh yeah, alele go boku mat now. Ah yes, now 5 minutes waka, make yourself cruise on this boku enjoyment. For better weekly juice, follow at boku mat. Join us. Iboku abi no boku.
please let me type it.
Let me type it myself.
About the identity of your staff. Automate your HR process.
So both of you are just
By affording you single verification of your employee details with Afrogen HR partners, they can effectively onboard, profile, document, recruit, and manage employees. No paperwork, store and access staff records instantly. Automate payroll and leave applications. Our verification portal enhances your security, guarantees verification, address verification, academic verification.
there was somebody that called and said that he didn't know what his highly program 2 years ago. That was when he
of your device.
and some people cannot even trace it back. So they just feel like that's why when the person is coming up to you and they tell you that oh I went through it and you don't believe them, they now have that reverse psychology where they feel like maybe I'm deceived because they cannot trace back that this is what happened, this is the root cause of the thing. So they just like maybe I'm bad, maybe I'm making it up, maybe I'm a Obachi, maybe I have a spirit.
Sorry, Imana, do you know it is easy
Discover
to
the next
identify
generation
people
of
who have been
Nigerian
abused?
athletic superstars at the University of Lagos and Yaba Tech Sports
easy.
Complex. Come
So
with
that
your
is
families
how
and friends for an amazing
women who
experience
are
from the 9th
abused
to
get
12th
repeatedly
April.
abused.
Visit
Women who are raped, you find a woman being
for more
raped twice.
information.
They just begin to give up. So normally,
Introducing the
you know, maybe I
essence
just
of
tap
true
you in a place
authenticity
you're
in
supposed to say,
fragrance
stop it.
Wazobia
You won't say stop it
perfume,
because
the correct scent. A unique
they are-
blend that captivates
they are
the
emotionally
authentic spirit
detached.
of Nigeria,
You
now
understand?
available in
So
both
that's how you
perfume
begin to
and
know
body
places
spray
that
variants. Designed for
women, ordinary women will say,
every
waiting they
yes,
happen. You
Wazobia
just
is a
continue
unisex
because
fragrance
they
perfect
tell
for both
them
men
if you report
and
nothing will
women.
happen.
Its
And they
rich
saw
and
that
versatile aroma
nothing will happen.
is a
So
statement
they
of
be nothing
inclusivity
if I
and
talk,
unity.
nothing will happen.
You know that on the flip side also, another reaction is
Are you a retailer or do you love to buy in bulk? We've got you covered across
I
Nigeria.
know
Wazobia
a
perfume
friend
comes
when I
in
went to
cartons
work
of
outside the
24
country.
bottles and the body
As long as
spray
you're
is
a man,
available in
you know,
cartons of 48
something she's just
bottles.
angry
Interested
at
in
you.
using
You know,
Wazobia
saying
perfume apart
just
from
trigger
your
her
collection
little. She
store?
has
For carton
exploded.
purchases,
And
contact
I
us
was
at the email
looking at her
address
and I know that
contact at
you're not angry at Emmanuel. You're angry at the person that
or
hurt you,
call
but
us
it's
at
every person that
Every
you see
person
now.
looks like yeah.
Just whether you look at as you're a man.
And I think that thing is also the thing that some girls say. Some girls say that I don't like fair guys. No, it's the same thing. It's the same thing.
Yes.
This is how it starts.
When I
want to go back.
Yeah. We're going back now. Barcelona, we'll have 20 minutes.
I want to let me round up.
99.3 Nigeria Info.
Your number one station for talk. Let's talk. Let's talk.
Lagos, we're back. This is the last lap here on Relationship 360 on 99.3 Nigeria Info. We have Barcelumide and we have two awesome guests on Yechi and Maggie, who has been, who's done great and amazing work, speaking about the movie, all the takeaways from their movie, The Baby Farm, and then they're seeing the reality firsthand, of all of these things and how children are abused sexually. And you have adults who are now, people who are now adults, calling in and selling in their stories. And, it's just sad. Yes, it's sad.
It's amazing that some parents will react. 79% of parents will send their children back into an abusive marriage. Only 21% would actually rise to save their children. We find out that a lot of things, according to Sigmund Freud, also has to do with the home. There's a notion in psychology that points back to the home. They call it childhood trauma. Everything is childhood living itself in the adult life of a person. Now, you would notice the effects of early child sexual abuse as sexual overdrive, both male and female. They just want to have sex. Not that it means anything, but they just, because while they were young, an organ that was supposed to take time to mature was activated before time. So it is running out of order. It is running out of orbit. And these people now find themselves on an overdrive. Now, people react differently. The flip side of that is that some now are irritated by sex. Some are on overdrive. You see, it is a bipolar reaction. There is no midpoint. It is extreme reactions. Either you are on sexual overdrive or you have an irritation to sex. Heightened drug abuse. A lot of our children that by 18, 19 have started drinking in particular is a result to an attempt to forget about sexual abuse when they were children. So when you find young boys and girls, apart from the trying to test experiment, when you find them really drinking at a young age, at 18, 19, you'll find that a lot of them were sexually abuse, and it increases your propensity for mental illness because an experiment carried out showed that at 21, almost 50% tested positive for a mental disorder. Now, over 60% of women in Kirikiri were defiled as children. When you go to Kirikiri, the female wing, over 60% of them. Now, it increases propensity for crime. Their crime is not to steal money. Their crime is assault, murder. You will find out that a lot of them are there for killing a loved one or a spouse. Failed marriages because of a dissociative mental disorder. They dissociate from everybody because of untreated trauma. Now, the first step, I will tell you, someone asked, so what can I do? Victims of sexual abuse as minors are not found in, my research found that people have been told to see a psychologist, which means multiple visits and money. I work in the space of counseling people, but I don't abide by the ethics of counseling and some psychology because it's, to me, I think it's, you can't come to be seen. There's one truth, and they say once you know the truth, it sets you free. It's not repeated. You come to see me today, you come to see me tomorrow, I give you an appointment. I don't do all that. We see once, and I tell you what it is. The first step is speaking out. The moment you are able to express it, you will find the reactions of people who told their parents, and their parents did something about it. Is different from the reaction of those who never said anything and also different from those who said something and their parents now victimized the victim, blamed them. Speaking out is the first step. And then, I watched Pastor Donnie McClurkin come out to say that he was abused by his uncle when he was 8 years old. On the day they were supposed to bury his younger brother who died at 2 years old. The burial day, at the funeral, his uncle abused him, took away his virginity. Till today, Pastor Donnie McClurkin is not married. And he said he fears he may never marry because he can't understand. His personality is fragile. He's been in and out, but he cannot. He says, I fear that. He's not a young man. On the day, imagine the double trauma. I'm burying my brother today. The same day, the uncle took advantage. It is usually by a family member. So, please, I found a venue. I told you about an anonymous, like an Alcoholics Anonymous, all these meetings of people who were abused and you never said anything or it's affecting you. You've not been able. I want to arrange a meeting for us to meet. Do you know how you will heal? When you lead the work against child sexual abuse of these children now, you are now the protectors of those who are being abused now. You were a victim, you survived, and now you are fighting so that our children are not. Your healing would almost be complete. Not in silence, but in fighting for. You see the stigma. You don't want people to know that you were abused. It is fine, but it is death. You will never recover. But that abuse was not your fault. You did nothing wrong. You have to understand that being abused sexually as a child, you did nothing wrong. It is only people who are guilty that are ashamed or afraid to speak. The innocent are confident in walking. I can walk because I don't owe any. I owe somebody money. I didn't steal anybody's money. I didn't do any ritual. You are not. I didn't. So I can walk in places where an ordinary person would not walk. A lot of our politicians cannot walk on the normal roads because they will be mobbed. You took monies meant for a hospital, you spent it. Someone took the entire federal pension. Can you imagine the pension of the entire? And they cannot walk in normal places, but with innocence comes courage. You know that you didn't do anything. You got able to go where normal people or other people cannot go. We are, myself with Madam Abiye Tam George, former chairperson, Lagos branch of the Nigerian Bar Association. We are arranging a walk on the 25th of this month, where we are going to, in Ikeja, walk to the office of the Commissioner of Police to appeal to him to tell policemen, especially because our police stations have become a place of settlement. I told you about a place where a man offered 9,000 naira to kuku marry the 12-year-old that he was in a police station. And officers were there. We are handling a case where the Ogombo DPO and the two officers of their human rights desk, when a case of the deferment of a 14-year-old came, at the end of the day, they charged the family of the victim to court instead of the suspect. This is how police formations who are not trained in areas of gender and gender-based crimes take over cases that they are not qualified to handle. It is to appeal to the Commissioner of Police to tell all police stations the moment you have cases of child abuse, child sexual abuse, to transfer it immediately to the gender unit of the state command in Ikeja or the state CID in Panti. Those ones are trained. We've been working with them and we have had successful convictions. I can't tell you how many people just this year alone. Someone sent me a message that, did I say redemption camp? Yes. The man called me, the father of the girl called me from redemption camp. And when I heard it, I was, redemption camp. Okay. We now found out that it was somebody that was hired to dig a well. Just saw an autistic girl. She's 25, walking, and he deceived her that he wanted to pray for her with anointing oil. You know, he was even arrested with the anointing oil and was doing as if he wanted to anoint her and the girl because she had been repeatedly, you know, it is church prayer and everything. That's autism. She didn't know and that was how it wasn't the first time he had raped her. So thank God for some of us. We have some who are redeemed pastors in the group, and you know, they said, camp. Immediately, someone, Mrs. Alabi, God bless your soul, took it up and went straight to camp. And we have the man, he's now remanded to a prison in Abeokuta. Children need the protection of fathers, and we must appeal to the police as well that when they see this matter, the father is a driver and could not afford, all the transportation and the legwork of the police. We have to come in. We also, we are picking up these cases now, and I want to appeal to everybody for your support. You can hear how people have been destroyed by child sexual abuse, and we are picking up the case. I want to appeal to you. I will give out our account details. Please pick up your phones and help us fight this menace. We are picking up cases that we cannot even handle because you can't see the children. Look at, we had a case in Apapa. We are currently in Apapa. We'll be charged to court on Monday. The girl is 4 years old though. They are from a Hausa family, so they cannot speak English correctly. The 4-year-old came back from school. The mother wanted to change, now found blood stains. She was 3, she's now 4. Found blood stains in her underwear and said, she was a bit confused that she couldn't have started her period, and, told her what's going on. And she just kept mentioning the name of the man, saying that there's a black snake in between the thighs of Baba Bosu. And the following day, the girl refused to go to school. Since December last year, the girl refused to go to school. Now, her older sister, who is 9 years old, also attends the same school. So the younger sister stays back at home, and the older sister still goes. And then a month ago, the older sister now comes back home, and the mother sees the same blood spot in the underwear of the daughter, and the mother just lost it, went and called the father, who is a butcher, their house, and said there's something, and the daughter did not talk, but after a lot of persuasion and threats, she mentioned the same person who the younger sister mentioned. They now went to the station, went to get medical paper. It was in Luth that one of our volunteers, I was there in Luth that day, and our volunteer said there's this girl that is this, that. And they confirmed that, okay, this girl had been defiled, and we took up the case. 2 sisters from the same mother by the same person, who is the gate man of the school. And the younger one had said that this is the 2nd year that he's always touching her, buying, he will take her when they close from school, and that is how he has been doing. We picked up the case. The man will be charged to court and remanded in prison custody. Lots of people have been calling me for this gate man. I don't even understand. And I said, 2 children, 4 and 9. Do you know when we now picked up? 5 other families came from that their settlement, and said their children too. That is 7. The man is going to. So please, you need to support us on this matter. We can only go as far as we have. I will give my number, please. I will give out our account details. Thank God I've taken permission to do this online. The Gnosis Help Initiative is the name of our NGO. The account is 2033 986788. 2033 986788. First Bank. 2033 986788. First Bank. Please give us your support as we fight for the children. We really need that support because it is active. And I will tell you that cases of defilement now surpass cases of domestic violence and abuse that we're talking about. That is why, you see, this is about the 3rd week I'm talking about it. Thank God someone just mentioned that I did not know I was abused until I heard you talking about it. Please, NGOs, non-governmental organizations, or organizations or persons that might want to join us on that walk. It will be on the 25th of April. That is a Friday. Myself, hopefully, I will be joined by the MBA branches, and like we did about a year or 2 years ago, and governmental organizations, people who have children. I'm going to announce a dress code. We'll just be very casual, and we would march onto the office of the Commissioner of Police. It is not a protest, though. It is a walk. It is what you call a demonstration. I'm also going to come along with some children who they are not being abused, but you see the faces of the children that we are the ones. Our future has already been broken down. What future do we have? And our name is not our future. Our offsprings are the future. How we are breeding traumatized children. Who will your children marry? You can see a husband and wife called. You are getting an abused husband, an abused wife, abused children. What is going on? And we are sitting down. It is a state of national emergency. This education is very important. And I that is why, I told you that I'm starting a training. You would find it on my page on Facebook, Olumide Omoshebi on Facebook, or Barrister Olumide also on Facebook. You will see the flyer there. In fact, I have reduced it from 130 to 100,000 for GVN members, and people, GVN members, it is 50. We have reduced it to 30,000 naira for teachers. It is very important that teachers come. If you are a teacher in a primary or secondary school, very important, please, we would even allow you to pay 3 times. It doesn't matter. It's a 6-week training. I will teach you everything that you would use to combat this. And also for policemen, 10,000 naira. You can even pay 3 times. Come, I will teach you. Why? Because I will not allow you to take something you have no value for. You would abuse it. I wanted to do free for policemen. As long as you're a police officer that we can identify you're a police officer, 10,000, bring it. Because you are going to receive a certificate. Not everybody that comes there will get it. The moment I see that your brain is not catching, is not calibrating with knowledge, I will not certify you. It's going to start on the 12th. That is, it's going to be 6 Saturdays from 12 to 3. 12 to 3, the location is Surulere. I've broken it down. Listen, we need this education. Just come. Especially, religious organizations. You need to train people that you put in the counseling and all that have to do with the children's department. You need to train them so that they know what to say. You don't hand a child a Bible to face the realities of life. You hand them knowledge. You hand them knowledge. That is why we go around secondary schools. Even, I attend some PTA meetings to tell the parents what to do. As long as you invite me, I will come. I did it free of charge. We've been doing it free of charge for the past 3 years. Because we cannot have a broken future, damaged children, traumatized children. It's not a religious matter. The devil is not after your children. Knowledge is, they say my people are destroyed for what?
Lack of knowledge.
Wisdom is what? The principal thing. And there is no wisdom without knowledge. Wisdom is the application of knowledge. You need to come. Onyinye, Maggie, thank you for coming. You have something to say before we round up, because my head is...
I think, in summary, what I just want to say is for me, it's really, we have to love one another better. I think at the root of all of this, if you ask me, this question they ask people, if you were to recommend one thing to save the whole world, what would it be? I'd say love. Love is the solution to everything. And I don't mean romantic love in that, no, just kindness. Just I wish you well. I think I hold you in high regard. I want the best for you. If I'm wishing somebody well, I will not harm them in this way. If I wish somebody well, I will not see that
Awesome.
somebody I know is hurting a child and enable it or turn a blind eye to it. So this is a call to everybody to let's just all try and love one another better.
Yeah.
Yes.
But however, you know that is almost impossible. Maggie.
Barrister, I think you've pretty much said everything, and just as Oyi says, love really is the way we can fix this. But finally, I would just like to speak to parents once again. I want us to stress that your future, as Barrister has said, is not your name, it's your child. And if that child is damaged, then your name is damaged in the long run. So let's protect our children. When they come to speak to us, let's create a safe space for them to speak to us. When they speak to us, let's believe them and let's fight for them. And please join Barrister. Join us on the 25th of April for the walk. Thank you.
Yes, please. Thank you for that too. For those that might want to register, please you can go to my Facebook page, Barrister Olumide or Olumide Omoshebi, to register for the training. It's called the RMDVA training. It's relationships, marriages, domestic violence and abuse, and child abuse. You will have a rounded scope. You can reach out to this number for if you want to register. 0708 029 4806. 0708 029 4806. You can reach out to that number if you want to register. And for those that might want to reach out to me personally, my number is, are you ready? 0909 3214 942. 0909 3214 942. The venue of the training is in Surulere, and please register. Come, and for those that want to, so please take out this account details: 2033 986788 First Bank. 2033 986788 First Bank. Please support us. This is a huge undertaking to fight the monster of child sexual abuse. We will do our best. You trust that. And for those that might also want to join our volunteer network, please, we're doing that. Thank God for Madame Onye here and Maggie, who are also they've been volunteers for over a year. And you can't sit down while your neighbor is in, because your son might just marry your, who would they marry? Is your neighbor, your daughter, who would they marry? Your neighbor. They won't go out of earth to bring a bride or a groom. It is these same people. So watch after your neighbor in your area. The volunteer network, you are not going anywhere. It's just your area. Whenever there are cases in your area, this is what we do. Thank you very much, and please tell people, tune them in, tell them to listen to this program. It really helps. It really helps. Knowledge is something money can't buy it.
Yes.
Sure. Try ignorance. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you so much. We have tons of messages.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for everyone who listened in, who called. Thank you, Maggie. Thank you, Nyechi, for being a part of the program, and great work you're doing. I hope that subsequently we'll see more productions, to speak into more of these issues. We hope that, thank God you're part of the network, so we'll see more work from you as well, and we'll have you more, come speak about this. Thank you so much. Barrister Olumide, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much. Lagos would leave it at that, and remember that we're also broadcast continued. So the discourse with Jimmy Disu is up next. So please stay put. Don't go nowhere. Don't touch the dial. We'll be back here for 99.3 Nigerian Info.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
And here comes
The system that shares.
The station where you matter.
See you watching live on Facebook and YouTube.
Thank you. Bye.